Hey, family, I want to welcome you to the Yes Revolt spot. I'm going to try to give you some brief intelligence in about 2, 3 minutes. First, I wanted you to just listen to Benjamin Netanyahu.
Jesus Christ has no advantage over Jesus. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation. So you have no choice. If you look at the world as it is today, you have to be blind not to see that the democracies led by the United States have to reassert their will to defend themselves and to oppose their enemies in time while there's still time, before the jarring gong of danger wakes them up and wakes them up too late. This is where we are now.
Okay. So basically, you got Mr. Is Not Real. It's something called eschatology. It's basically the study and those who want to hasten how the end happens. They want to control how the end happens because they think that at the end, all lines lead to God. There's a singularity line that leads to the source. And see, they believe that if they're the ones that bring everyone back to God, that God will reward them. And I suggest, that may be so if you bring them back to Him in a divine state. But you may get jacked up if you bring all of humanity back as an evil thing and present it to him. That's crazy. But anyway, this guy, there's a psycho matrix to the guy that, one, he believes that no one other than them are has a human spirit. They think everyone else has a animal spirit, and then they think negative about the animal spirit, how you're able to uh lick, and that's what I want to say backwards. Lick is ill without decay. Okay, so they want to ill everybody, they want to lick everybody and think that they are these supremacists. Now this is what's so funny to me. Okay, Ben came from Poland. He adopted himself as Israel, as an Israelite. See, he didn't get no one's permission. He didn't have the bloodline. And then they claim that they are the chosen ones, in total contradiction to every indicator that who the chosen ones are. Okay. And then another thing is, you can tell the fruit by the tree that you can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears. Okay. What kind of fruit you see, what kind of low hanging fruit is on this man's tree? What kind of low hanging fruit is on his tree? In other words, what can you hang on his tree? And what has he hung on his tree? See, he thinks that Israel is not real, should be from a certain river to the sea. Okay. Now, I want you to understand that is not real is not the Israel of the past. They have co opted the phrase. They claim to be, and yet they outlaw genetic testing so that you can not be sure. This is what they do. And then they control all that America has. They control all that America is and make it illegal for you to point things out. I'm only talking truth, an amalgamation of accurate fact. So what this man is saying is that because they consider you as an animal spirit. Sacrificing you means nothing. He's saying you got no choice. Now, as a native, I I understand, as a native, a Seminole, and all of that. I can relate to animal spirits. I have a spiritual connection with hawks. Anybody who ever rides with me for any distance know that I can tell where a hawk is even when it's not in my sight. I'm just driving along and I'm looking, and they say, "What are you looking for?" I said, "I feel a hawk in the area." They say, "Ain't no hawk." I said, "Yeah, there he is, right there." I got, a connection with nature. You see, but their connection with nature is to cull it, to cull it, to ill it with the K, to lick it backwards. The words Lick is Kill backwards. You feel me? So that's what they do, and that's where we're at. And America is asking you to choose between that is not real and to completely and continually dog those of us who are real, to believe that that is the chosen, to believe that a a certificate from these people to Donald Trump saying that he is the Prince of Peace would be enough for him. Why? Because the psychomatrix of this sociopath links with the psychomatrix of President Thump. See? And what is President Thump's psychomatrix? His psychomatrix is egotistic sociopath. He's egotistic sociopath, right? So he keeps saying you got no choice. And he's manipulating everything so that you don't have a choice. $3.5 billion a year for how many years? And then what do you see? You see, 40 years we've been trying to sucker a president into fighting Iran, and now they're doing it, and Iran flattens all their bases, makes them unusable, then hits every neighbor that was conspired with the U.S., hit everything of importance. See, that's a wonderful reciprocation because U.S. and is not real made everything that was important to Iran of no importance at all. And so now they're flipping the script. Now the U.S. is seeing what it's like to get an ass whooping. They're seeing what it's like to lose all your teeth, all your bases, all your muscle, and then Trump knocks the U.S. out of the petrodollar, so he knocks you out your international hustle. You can't get more stupid than that. And then all of his friends, America doesn't have friends, they have interests. And the nations who thought they were friends of the U.S. is finding that out because their interest has changed. Friendship evaporated. It was an illusion. Then Trump starts fight with Canada, and now they're freezing each other's assets. Canada had to respond because the U.S. froze $30 billion, over $30 billion of Russian assets, then sent it to Ukraine. What do you think that's going to be when you got to negotiate with Russia after what you did? What's your solution to these pollutions? Come on now, like and share. Let's bump this up to a meal.